Hey, fellow nerds! Another week and another review here at the Fellowship of the Nerds. I am your host, as always, Luke Skywalker. This review is going to be gigantic, and what I mean by that is not that it's going to take hours or anything like that, but this is, I think, the biggest lightsabers that we've reviewed so far, because this monstrosity is the lightsabers from Marrok from the Ahsoka series. This is a beast of a set, and I can't wait to show you guys what it looks like. So let's open this one up and enjoy Marrok lightsabers.
May the Force be with you, Padawan.
In this very big box, we've gotten there. Dig this way. We've gotten this very, very big lightsaber. This is, I think, this is by far the biggest lightsaber I've ever gotten. So we'll see the lightsaber in a second. We have the charger. We have all of our tools here. So we have the blade plugs. I can see we have two different types of blade plugs. So it's a good thing, because it's a good thing to get choice. We have tools. We have gloves from what I can see there. Yep. So that's actually very cool. And we have our hilt, which is probably going to be easier if we just... Okay, we need to remove it in a different way. So we got our guards, and there's all the retention screws and the Allen key. The guards go on here, and here we have our hilt, which is really something, really big, really cool. Let's unwrap this so I can show it to you how cool this lightsaber is. Okay, look at this. Ridiculous lightsaber set. This is insane. Now this opens up like such. As you get to the lock-in center, it just stops. You don't need to do anything. You can open it a little bit more to put it like this, which means that you can rest it like this if you want it. I'm not entirely sure why you want to do that, but you know, it's an option. So there's that. We have, as you can see, we're already put in the shin blades, the shin protection. I'm not entirely sure what you want to call it. The blade plugs that we've decided to go with are these ones. The other set that you would have seen that it had 4 blade plugs. So you could have chosen from between this and a blade plug that really, it looked a lot like the Darth Vader from Episode 5 blade plug. So I kind of thought, you know what, these look similar. Let's use something that is, let's say, original, unique, if you will, to the character. So we've gone with these ones. And right off the bat, I can tell you a couple of things. First of all, no matter which configuration, no matter what brand you're buying, so if you're getting this, say, Elf Savers or Ultimate Works or, whatever, like, accessing the chassis is not going to be really straightforward. Even the LGT, well, no, actually, I take that back. The LGT, the Cinepixel, is probably the easiest way to access anything, because this little part, you can just remove a couple of screws and it comes off, and you can charge it and stuff. So that is pretty cool, and you can access the SD card in a very straightforward way. The Proffies, again, no matter if you're going Ultimate Works or else or whatever, you have to like do a little bit of digging to like basically pull, the entire core out. There'll be some like Elf slash Ultimate Works where it's one single core, or like this where you have 2 cores but it's joined on one single piece. There are benefits and cons on that, which I will get to in the pros and cons section. But this set that we've gotten is pretty, like, it's pretty unique. I'm going to tell you that straight away. Like, it is pretty solid, very sturdy in hand, but I'm not thinking oh, you know, like, oof, my God, I cannot hold this. So there is that. So instead of me boring you with more details, why don't we don't take this outside, show you what it looks like in the dark, and bring it back inside, and I, you know, show you a little bit of its operation and sound fonts, and also we go over the pros and cons. And of course, when we bring it back inside, just for the sheer size of this, we're going to use just one blade because, you know, otherwise we're going to run out of space, or maybe hit the ceiling, or both things. So probably the best thing to just do it with one. But now when we take it outside, let's do it with both blades to show you how amazing these lightsabers are. Okay, that is really, really amazing. With the both blades, it just looks astonishing. We brought it back, and like I said, we're going to bring it back with only one blade. These lightsabers. I keep saying this, but it's these because it's a set. It's two. It's a staff. Oh, I mean, you could say this lightsaber staff, I guess. But no, these lightsabers are pretty impressive. Now, you have to be mindful that if you see, for example, the LGT NeoPixel, that activates just by pressing this. It activates both sides, and this is just decorative. So there are, I can't remember his ultimate works, that this just serves as like a physical mechanism. So like if you press this, it serves to, no, Fred, I'm not talking to you. If you press it, it serves as the thing to like hold this. But this really doesn't do anything on this version. So this is just, you know, I'm guessing that if you were to, like, you know, take it to someone, you could maybe wire this so it serves a purpose, but I think that's way too much hard work for what it is. This has, again, similar to, like, say, L Sabers or the likes, where the entire thing is one board. These has two controls. So, and then if you want to open, you know, activate this one, then you have. So it is pretty okay, but because you have gesture control, you wouldn't have that much issue activating both sides at the same time. Volume wise, if you listen to this, it's not that very strong, but it's not like this isn't loud. This isn't its maximum setting. It's because there's so much of stuff in this hilt that the sound gets a bit muffled. But if you're like take it out of the hilt, you know, the cores do emit good sound. So there is that. To access that core, like I was saying, you have to do a few things. So like I just want to show you. You have all these buttons here. So like you wouldn't have this to begin with. They're sorry, not buttons, screws hidden under this, and you have to essentially lose those. Lose the one that holds the blade, and then from this side, from the side where of the black buttons, you will simply grab the piece of plastic and pull, and you'll take out all the entire core. You might need to unscrew these, so, you know, just be mindful of that. You don't need to screw anything here or here, because this is just to put it in a weird way, this is like the female plug and this is the male plug, if that makes any sense. So, you know, this side you don't have to do anything, because once you pull from this side, it will come out entirely. So there's that. Some of you might say that is a con, that this doesn't do any activation. I find that as you're manipulating this staff, or these sabers, whatever you want to call them, you know, you might accidentally hit it. So you might not want to do that, and you might want to just, you know, keep that. So if you want to access the sound, you just need to press
Enter volume menu, maximum volume. Maximum volume. Exit volume menu.
And that's it. You've said it. So there's that. Same way on this core. They do similar to other lightsabers that we reviewed, most recently Sifo Dyas. These are Proffies that if you don't, use them in a certain period of time, they will just go into sleep mode. So whenever you activate this, it doesn't automatically activate. It just makes the noise of the boot, and then you have to activate it. So there is that. But it's the same principle. Once it's activated, you just switch to your sound font. So without further ado, let's check our sound font. That's a Marrok sound from our friends at Kyrophonics. Really good sound font. But this does come with a bunch of other sound fonts. One thing that I did notice is that there are even more sound fonts that for whatever reason you cannot access as you're using this, but there are on the cards. So like it has the Ingara, for example, that you for whatever reason won't play on this, but it is in. And they're really a bunch of, like, I just remember the Ingara because I thought it was very significant that something that is relatively so new, it wouldn't be on this. Like one of the ones that plays. Yet you have all the silly ones that we're about to see that do play. So strange, but you can play around to like move and enable sound fonts and stuff. Yeah, Ahsoka from the show, not Fulcrum one. Baylan Skull with the correct color, which is always good. Yang. I love this sound font. It's ridiculously cool. Ezra Bridger's second lightsaber. This is from Force Awakens. Yep. Jedi Survivor, the staff. Son of Corellia. These are the weird ones that I don't like. Ascension, Cyberblade. The silly ones that I was saying that, don't really like these. There we go. I'll get to this Lashawn.
I'm a Jedi, like my father before me. Count Dooku.
One cool thing that you can find is that the majority of lightsabers from this character have this, but like the Shin, like you can see the blade going through, and I find that detail very, very cool.
Jedi scum. Cal Kestis.
Master Windu. Master Sifo Dyas. Young Rey. Kylo Ren.
Again, except no substitutions here.
Right.
And I can say the same one for that one, because the KR sabers and the 89 sabers, one of these are amazing.
Master Qui-Gon.
Marrok.
And then we're back to Marrok. Overall, this lightsaber is pretty amazing. And it has a detail you might not be able to really appreciate on camera, but like once they're on, like they shine through here, and it's a pulsing, like it's very, very subtle thing, but it's very, very cool. So like, it's one of those things that I think you can't go wrong with it. Things that are not so great about this lightsaber. It's okay to operate with one hand if you're using one blade. If you were going to use both blades with one hand, might be a bit too much. So there's that. There's a part of me that wish that you can control both at once without the gesture controls. But you know, there's that. I just think that this is a missed opportunity. If you're not going to use this, you might as well just block it. Like I don't see any point on that. Um, it kind of is tricky to access the core, so there is that. And I wish that I understand why this happens is because there's so much going on here. But I wish that once you put this on maximum volume, you could hear it a bit more because it's kind of it's. I'm not gonna say it's difficult to hear, but it's not as wow like other lightsaber. Like say for example, Kylo Ren's lightsaber or Ben Solo's lightsaber once ignited, those like immediately sound mind blowing. So there is that. It doesn't come with a Marrok font. Like I had to get, like I said, Marrok font from Chirophonics. Not that's a bad thing because the Chirophonics sound font. There's also K-Sith sound font. Like they're all great. But it's just one of those things that you wish that it came with and that you didn't have to be doing things to be able to get the sound font. And so there is that. Um, Pros of the lightsaber, unlike the elf or the ultimate works, which I've seen for ridiculous prices up to like 700 pounds or so, this actually was 150 pounds. So there is opportunities out there to find this at a good price if if you know where you're looking at and you do your homework, if you will. You should be able to find this at a good price. So, and if you find these for this price, they're really worth it because they're really great. It's a really great lightsaber. It just this, right? Just the presentation of it alone is you know like impressive. These, fortunately, they're not really pointy, like like they're very flat. So like, I don't think there's really a risk that you would hurt yourself or anybody with them. But I wouldn't say that this is a lightsaber that I would give to a child. Like, no way. So there is that. But yeah, I don't think there's going to be a risk of you hurting yourself. And because it automatically stops there, like there's no risk of like you operate in this and suddenly the blades going like moving about. Like, no, they stay where they should, which is a good thing. So if you can get this price, sorry, if you can get these lightsabers at a great price like we did, by all means I would recommend them. Even if you have to put your sound phone and you have to like work around them a little bit, for the price, it'll be really, really worth it. If you cannot find it at that price, I would say no. If you're gonna be paying like a really high price, then by all means, that go with the best. Go with Ultimate Saber, with Ultimate Works, with Sabers, that sort of stuff. But if you can find other variations like this one for for a price like that, like under £200, whatever that might be in your currency, by all means, because it's definitely worth it. It takes 1 inch blade, and like you saw, it comes already with the blade plugs and everything. You won't have to worry about that. So yeah, it is recommended, provided that you can find it at a good price, absolutely for sure, because it just looks phenomenal. And on top of this, we've gotten from our friends Nurse Loot this really nice plaque from the Ahsoka show for this character, which obviously we'll be putting on our wall because I mean it's Nurse Loot. Like, you can't go wrong with the plaques that these guys do. So if you want a great plaque for this character, for any other character really, not even necessarily ones that they have on there, you can approach Carl to ask for if you want a specific design. By all means, Nurse Loot is the place for you to go. Other than that, nerds, I hope that you enjoy this review. I hope that you find it useful. I hope that you liked it. If you did, please leave a like, leave a little comment, and tell me what you think about Marrok. I know it's a character that's on the show very, very briefly, and not really fully explained, other than there's some magic involved, and that's really from the Night Sisters, and that's really about it. I know there was a potential that it was going to be Star Killer, that because Sam Witwer did the few lines that the character has. Sam Witwer did the voice, and everybody had that expectation, and then wonk wonk, it wasn't. But I did find the mystery of the character a good thing. The aggressiveness of the character was really cool. There were certain elements of the character that I did find very, very cool to see in especially to see in live action, because we've seen characters like it in the Inquisitors, in Clone Wars and in Rebels, and we will be reviewing pretty much all the Inquisitors lightsabers that there are as we go along. But I thought that this was a very interesting character, and like I said, it has a very nice set of lightsabers. One that, if you're into collecting these things, as I'm sure you are if you're watching this, you might want to consider. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Please consider subscribing if you're new to the channel, and if you are a regular, welcome back, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. And until the next time, nerds, please look after yourselves, look after each other. Remember, the Force will be with you always. Remember to live long and prosper. May the odds be ever in your favor. See you around, nerds.